Well, 10:22 in the morning, and we've had a steady morning. Actually walked all around that lake, what we saw last night. We had a good walk around this morning. I thought it'd take about an hour, and how long did it actually take us, Catherine?
20 minutes.
So I was well overestimating that. We're only going to be roughly an hour down the road, as pre-mentioned, going to Coolgardie now, the Memorial Gardens campground, something like that.
Yeah.
And we're staying there for the night. So very short run. This road is slightly corrugated, so we're not exactly off-road, but it's a big rest stop, and it's just sand and sort of gravel. So some of the vehicles corrugate it a bit, which makes it a little bit bumpy, but that's it. Right, well, we're going to head onto the main road now, take a left. That's a positive, isn't it, Catherine?
Yeah.
Yeah. As in, and not a negative to any right.
Affirmative.
Affirmative, I tell you. I do have vocabulary, it's just in the wrong order. Alright, catch up later. So we arrived in Coolgardie about 12 o'clockish, I think, yesterday, and had a look round. We didn't film as such because it's very spaced out. The roads are really wide, aren't they?
Yeah, very well.
Exceedingly wide. So to get to places or the buildings, it took us maybe a good 20-25 minutes walking round. So we thought we would save the effort of showing all those maybe elongated walks, even though I could edit them out, I suppose. But we took a lot of photographs basically, so we just thought we'd actually go through and mention what we saw. What did we see?
We saw Ben Pryor Outdoor Museum, which showed a lot of machinery from the mining, from that, I suppose, gold rush era and beyond, didn't it?
Yeah, and the gold rush started here as such from, it was Bailey and Ford, wasn't it?
Gold was discovered in Kalgoorlie in 1892 by Arthur Bailey and William Ford.
Okay.
The municipality, well, what did you say that word?
Municipality
of Kalgoorlie was established in 1894, and by 1898, I think it was, because there was such an influx of people, because it was a new area with gold, all the other areas had run out of gold locally, so by 1898 it was the third biggest town in the colony, and I think there was 15,000 inhabitants.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. We haven't just researched this, we knew this all along. So Coolgardie as well as a location is, I think it's 87 kilometres away now, isn't it, approximately, from Kalgoorlie. Mm-hmm. And Kalgoorlie is a massive mining town, or massively a mining area. There's the super pit. If you actually go to Kalgoorlie or Google Kalgoorlie super pit, that's a massive pit they've dug in the ground. So we're near Kalgoorlie. But as for this place, Coolgardie, it didn't seem to really take off, did it? Do you know when that gold rush ended then? Do you say?
No, I don't know when they ran out of gold.
And just, I mean, this is obviously modern day, and you're looking around, there's not, I don't think there's any new buildings, is there? There's a lot of old buildings. Obviously there's a lot of heritage and history here. Apparently there were lots of hotels on the main drag, on the main street. Is Bailey Street the main street?
I think, don't know, I think it was maybe a side street.
But there was something like, I think, 4 or 5 quite large hotels in the day, as they say, and there's, well, I think most of them have closed down. Yeah. There is a hotel, motel, pub, and that's the Denver Hotel. But as for the other hotels, we had a look at one which was called the Marvel, wasn't it? I think that was one of the most opulent ones. Outside, it's quite ornate, or it would have been in the day. And it's a lovely building, and it's a shame it's just empty now, isn't it? And we saw another, you thought it was the bakery, didn't you? Because you'd read the bakery had burnt down because someone owned that bakery and then moved on to another shop further down.
Yeah, that was Bailey.
Was it?
Somebody, maybe what's the word?
Give us a clue.
Not that generation, not Arthur Bailey.
Arthur Daly?
No, Bailey.
Oh.
Is what do you call them?
What, his predecessors?
No, after. Descendants.
Right.
Descendants, that's the word. Descendants of Arthur Bailey, maybe. One of them was a baker, and his bakery store burnt down. So then he moved into the building, I don't know where they built it, which is now the IGA.
Okay, right then. Because we didn't see a building which had burnt down, and it did say Bailey on there, didn't it?
Yeah.
And you couldn't make out the rest of the sign.
Yeah, so
maybe
that might have been it.
Okay. We spent a good maybe half an hour or so walking around, didn't we? Actually, having a look at these buildings. What else did we see? We'll come back to that Ben Pryor Park in a minute, because there was an interesting chap's shack there, which we'll go on to in a moment. But what was that big building? Is it like the town hall, or where the post office is as well? And then it's just next to it. There's another big building which Ashley photographed. I can't remember what it is at the moment, but you'll be having a look as I speak. So that was whether it was the town hall, a community hall. I remember reading the sign on it, but I can't remember. There was a jail, wasn't there, as well?
There was a jail, police, the post office
is next to the jail, isn't it?
And jail were all sort of together, weren't they?
So once we had our wander round, we left it to the last to go to this Ben Pryor Park, and like Catherine said, there was old industrialised mechanical motors, engines. There's a few pics on as you'll see now. So there was all sorts of things there, wasn't it? And it's obviously their heritage.
Wagon, wasn't there? With
the wagon wheels. Yeah.
There was a boiler. There was what was that called? Because water was so scarce here.
Basically, it was a desalination thing, wasn't it? It
very
boiled.
Basic.
Yeah, very basic desalination.
It was corrugated, so I think it rotated, and maybe the salt collected in the little dips. I'm not sure.
Probably so, just to try and freshen the water up a bit. But then didn't the sign say it wasn't very palatable?
It didn't taste very good, but it did the job. It
probably tasted of gold, wouldn't it, with the minerals?
Provided fluids for people and animals, air fluid, water.
So we made our way to. There was a Bank of Australia, which we never really could understand what that was.
I don't know what the building was. It almost looked like a jail, but they said that the sign was from the original Bank of Australia in Perth.
Was it?
Yeah.
All right. And near this Bank of Australia shed, let's say, then whatever it was a shack. And that shack, researching this actually, we have done some research on this, but reading about that shack, it's either been rebuilt, like moved from an actual site where this John Carins lived. So he actually was a prospector, as many people were here, and he was out in the sticks a little bit further away. I think it was about 15 kilometres, I think it said, from Coolgardie. And he just basically built a shack from metal, corrugated metal, anything he probably could get his hands on. And that shack was either taken down and put into this Ben Pryor Park as the original, and in some readings you say that it was constructed, wasn't it, like a copy of it, a reproduction of it. So it depends on which site you read, but if that's similar to what he actually lived in, it was extremely basic, wasn't it? There was
like
some
3 shacks, wasn't it? Like two fairly well enclosed, and then almost like a car park.
yeah, and the
Small
pictures
car
will be on
park.
coming up now as well. But yeah, very, very basic. And this John Carins, he was from Northumberland, wasn't he? He was obviously
Newcastle. He was
English.
from Newcastle, and he was a scholar, wasn't he? He'd studied.
I think in engineering as well. He was.
No, it wasn't engineering.
Wasn't
It was. Don't know what. Because he wrote poetry and he could recite poetry, couldn't he? He would recite it to locals here.
He didn't study that, though, did he? That was his pastime anyway, wasn't it? His hobby. But end of the day, he became a prospector here. I don't know how well he did. I mean, he did live obviously a very simplistic life, didn't he?
Because he married a widow, didn't he? Not in this area.
She had 4 children.
4 children. That did not work out, and that's when he moved to Kalgoorlie as a prospector, isn't it?
Yeah,
And built his shack.
Yeah, just that.
Recited his poetry.
Yeah, to people who want to listen. There actually was a really interesting poem that he wrote. It was obviously local and of the time, about brumbies. Brumbies are they wild horses?
Wild, yeah.
And there was a massive culling of wild horses here, and he obviously didn't agree with that, and he wrote this poem. I will put it up at some point in here, maybe towards the end of this slot or at some point, and you can have a pause of the video and read that actual poem, which I would encourage you to do. It was very good, very good. Yeah. Quite political as well, I suppose. But he was known as actually Jack as well. It was dry blower Jack. Now, this is what we learnt as well from the gold mining period. To wash gold as such, they had this construct which was a dry blower, and apparently he was very good at that washing of gold, obviously to find the gold flecks and nuggets, etc. He was so good that the actual local gold prospecting college, wasn't it? They'd sent their students down for him to teach them. But he had.
Well, they had a. Why did I see this in here? They had Kalgoorlie School of Mines.
So just going back to the studies, it was the Kalgoorlie School of Mines. So they actually had obviously a college as such to actually learn about mining. So with his knowledge and they actually went down and did the studies with him, didn't they?
And we read that he invented that dry blower, or he made it.
Supposedly, again, depends which website you read. He actually invented this thing, made it, and in this, if you look at this picture as well, you'll see the construct of that. It's quite a ruin now, isn't it? But he supposedly invented it, but in some Google pages it actually says he bought it as well, purchased it. So
definitely
believe what you will.
Made to me that one anyway. Maybe he made a copy.
And he lived out his life here, didn't he? For the rest of his life here.
Yeah, he used to cycle around on his bike, still cycling at 81, because that's when he unfortunately had an accident. He broke his hip and his leg and was taken to Kalgoorlie Hospital, and he could not cope with it. He couldn't cope with the bright lights. He obviously had no electricity in where he was. This was in the 1970s, wasn't it? 1971. And he couldn't cope with the noise, I think, and the bossy nurses, so he basically
discharged
himself. I don't know how he got out of there with a broken leg and a broken hip. But he got out of there, went back to his shack, didn't he? And basically he used some dynamite, and that was the end of...
he used dynamite for, without getting too graphic, but he lost his head, and that was John Carins, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A well-known person around here. Must have been a right character, really. Now, that's basically our trip here in Coolgardie. It was a one night, wasn't it? Just overnight. Is there anything else you want to add?
Well, I'd just say, considering we weren't expecting anything particular in Coolgardie, we'd only passed through before. There are a lot of boards, signs giving you the history of buildings and the place, and it is quite interesting, really. I mean, it's a sad ghost mine town now, is what they call it, and there's only about 850 residents now. So from the heyday of 15,000 mainly prospectors coming to make their money.
15,000 prospectors,
Yeah.
5 hoteliers,
Yeah.
pub owner,
Yeah.
maybe at the time a post office.
And a lot of shops popped up. There was, I can't remember the name, wasn't there? 2 brothers that opened a shop that provided, spades and everything
All
they
the
needed
shovels and stuff, for mining.
mining.
They'd have done well out of that.
Yeah.
And it seemed to be a little bit of a bum and bust here by the sounds of it, really. And with all respect, it doesn't seem to have progressed as well as what Kalgoorlie did. But it's
Quite
worth a
sad.
visit if you're driving through near here. It's worth a look through Kalgoorlie. No, Coolgardie. I've been saying that the last 24 hours, haven't I, Kalgoorlie? Because Kalgoorlie's the bigger, like I said, the main prospecting town here, and still is actually to a point.
And just before we set off on our trip, it was in the news that Coolgardie Council is in severe debt, aren't they?
I don't know, I didn't hear that. I know there's
yeah.
some councils all nationwide by the seams of it.
Yeah. But they still provide RV facilities at this time, up to 48 hours of free camping with potable water provided and a dump point. So that's pretty good.
And we're just next to the old railway line here in this car park. It's like a big car park. They're calling it a rest stop, aren't they? But it's just a gravelly area. But yeah, just behind you guys is the old railway station. So yeah, I think we'll wrap that up for now.
Yeah.
It's been a very enlightening trip, actually, just coming through here, because I didn't know the size of Coolgardie. I didn't know if it was as big as Kalgoorlie. I didn't know much of its history.
Yeah.
I know a little bit more now, and
I mean, it makes sense that it is an old mining town, so near Kalgoorlie, but I didn't know that history about it.
yeah. So it's been a great, almost 24 hours, isn't it? We've just been here. Next
A
stop,
whistle-stop tour.
yeah. Next stop is Norseman. So we've had a little bit of a shuffle around of where we were saying we're going to be going. So we're now going to move on to Norseman, meet up with some friends of ours who have been on a big trip, and we're just going to stay with them overnight. We go easterly and they go westerly back home. All right, I think we're done.
Yeah.
Catch up with you later on.
See you in the next one. Bye.